Yes, good morning to all. Now we are discussing another concept in modern political analysis, first unit. The concept is normative and empirical approaches. Basically, in our study of political science, there are two approaches. So, one is normative and second one is empirical approaches. So, now we have to discuss each one. The study of political science can be approached in different ways from different angles and perspectives. The origin of the study of the political science can be traced back to the Greek period. Aristotle is regarded as the founder of political science or father of the political science. Through the ages, there was much theorization on affairs of the state and government, and by and large, the approach was normative. The post Second World War period witnessed behavioral revolution. More emphasis was given to the study of political process and political forces. Thus, in the study of political science, transition happened from traditional political theory to modern political analysis. It's also known as modern political process. In modern world, power is the key issue in politics. Hence, processes of acquiring and exercising power got an important place in the study of political science. Thus, there is a radical transformation in the nature and content of political science. The study of politics has undergone many changes. It was due to the new approaches and methods applied to the study of political science. So, before discussing what is normative and what is empirical approaches, first of all, we have to know what is approach. An approach, in simple terms, may be defined as a way of looking at and then explaining a particular phenomena. It provides a framework for explanation and prediction of political problems. Approaches mean the different stand points from which the study or investigation of a political phenomena may be undertaken. Approaches means the different angles and ways from which the study of political phenomena may be undertaken. It is the way of looking at things. Approach is an outlook. From the days of ancient Greek, political thought scholars, philosophers, and political scientists have analyzed, investigated various types of political issues and incidents from the standpoint of their own perspective, and on the basis of the study they have arrived at conclusions and prescribed recommendations. This has inevitably led to the emergence of a number of approaches to the study of political science. Now we shall first of all try to analyze various aspects of each approach But before that, we shall define approach. We have already noted Van Dijk's points on another issue. According to Van Dijk, the word approach is defined to denote the criteria employed in selecting the questions to ask and the data to consider in political inquiry. In the opinion of Van Dijk, approach means criteria. A criterion is used to explain or analyze the political questions and data. Since the questions and data are very great in number and varied in nature, each political scientist or philosopher analyzes them in his own way by applying his own standpoint and method. In physical or chemical science, there exists an agreed method, and more or less all researchers and scientists apply those agreed methods. But there is hardly any place of board-based agreement in political science as to the method and approach. Another aspect of approach is methods employed by political science for its study cannot be distinguished from the methods used by other branches of social science. So also the approaches of political science are not different from other approaches. However, this general observation is not 100% correct. Sometimes the approaches employed by political scientists differ in content from the approaches used by other social scientists. Thus, variety of approaches for the study of political science is a central aspect of the subject. Again, from the past history of political science, we gather the idea that at different periods, different approaches have gained importance. In other words, the rise and fall in the importance of approaches is a noticeable characteristic. Approach. We can say it is a scientific way of studying a subject. The students will have to analyze and categorize data, facts, events, problems, etc. The point to note is that they cannot do it unscientifically or proceed haphazardly. To be precise, for a balanced and effective analysis and promising investigation, analysts must proceed in a systematic way, and for that purpose, the students or analysts must apply a method or criterion, and we call it approach. Therefore, approach is a way to analyze subject, or what may suitably be called a discipline. It is believed by many that the application of an approach considerably enhances the importance and credibility of the analysis as well as discipline. So without an approach, the analysis of the subject may not be in a position to receive wide support from the readers and also their credence. Now the types of approaches. Political analysis may be broadly classified into two categories, that is normative and empirical. While the normative is said to be value laden, the empirical is known for being value neutral. In other words, while normative is the hallmark of the former, empiricism is that of the latter. Fact value relationship is therefore the basis of our classification in this regard. On this basis, we may say that while traditional approaches lean to the side of values, the latter do the same for facts. The result is that fact value dichotomy. That means a difference between two completely opposite ideas or things. So dichotomy means completely opposite ideas becomes the determining factor. So now we have to see what is traditional or normative or value laden approach. Normative approach describes how things should be, its ideal type. It is to be distinguished from descriptive theory. This approach views facts from the moral and ethical perspectives. The descriptive approach is saying what is the case. Normative approach is saying what ought to be the case. Thus considered, the normative approach in political theory is theorizing about values in politics. With it, the emphasis is on the perception of values and standards of conduct. What should be becomes more important than what is. There is a direction, a purpose, a vision, and a frame of reference which guides all normative inquiries. None of the normative theorists, that is Plato, Aristotle, to some extent Rousseau and like, have ever lost sight of projecting the idea of the best of government. Idealism thus may rightly be said to be a part of normative commitment. Most of the earlier Western political thought was perspective. The political philosophers following the normative approach have either justified a system that was existing or have proposed an entirely different system. Accordingly, they are either conservative or idealists. Conservatives are just, for example, Edmund Burke, Oakeshott. Idealists means Plato, Rousseau, Hegel. Normative approach to the study of politics is known as traditional approach. The works in political science from Plato to Karl Marx can be regarded as traditional political science. These thinkers emphasized the study of state and government. They kept in mind criteria, norms, and values. The method was to begin with the cause and reach to the effect. The important features of this approach are now we have to see. The first one is idealistic and perspective. The emphasis in this approach is on norms and ideals. It does not concern itself with things as they are. It denotes not adopt a realistic view of political actions and institutions. Through the ages, political thinkers have focused their ideas and theories on what they perceive to be the ideal for the state. They prescribe certain forms of conduct rather than describe events or facts. This approach was inclined to ignore what is and gave more importance to what should be. Therefore, it is perspective Plato, Hegel, and Green are some of the idealist thinkers. The second feature is value oriented approach. Normative thinkers emphasized ethical and moral values such as good, bad, just, unjust, etc. It is a value loaded approach. It was more concerned with setting standards for organizations and governance of society. Third one is optimistic and utopian. Normative theories are based on the assumptions. It believes that a better system is possible. Accordingly, normative thinkers suggest the ways and means to achieve this better system. In that sense, this approach is optimistic. Example, Plato's concept of ideal state. Fourth one is institutional, formal and legal approach. Normative approach suggests that political science is the study of state and government. It studies the formal legal structures of political system. Example, study of the origin of the state, functions of the state, structure of the government, provisions about the rights, etc. And fifth one is dominated by philosophy and history. From Plato, Aristotle to Rousseau and philosophical deductive method, Rousseau from ancient Greek thinkers to Rousseau used philosophical deductive method in adopting the normative approach to make political inquiry. And the next concept is evolution of the normative approach. The normative approach to the study of politics has its uses as well as its disadvantages. First one is ideas, theories formulated by philosophers cannot be verified. Most of the theories are based on assumptions. It has no historical evidence. The second point is too much theoretical. Political philosophers more emphasized on philosophical principles than reality of politics. Hence, there is a gap between the normative theorists, ideal world and real world. And third point, the third criticism is philosophers have not even reached a universally acceptable definition of the term philosophy. And now we have to see the advantages of the normative approach. Normative principles are a source of guidance for empirical researchers and provide their studies with a purpose. The second advantage is normative theories remind us to seek the good in life such as justice, morals, etc. The traditional approach have a historical, descriptive and prescriptive character with a dominating place for values and goals. The different varieties may be discussed as like this. The limitations. The first limitation of the normative approach is, like the philosophical approach, the normative approach is subjective, speculative and partisan. Traditional approach may be said to have 5 main varieties as discussed above. Their outstanding features is that value-laden system dominates. Normativism assigns to them a peculiar and distinctive character. As a result of this, political theory is said to have become abstract, hypothetical, speculative, even metaphysical. On the whole, normativism lays stress on the significant discussion. The traditional or normative approaches have a historical, descriptive, and perspective character with a dominating place for values and goals. The different varieties may be discussed in next class. So there are four types of approaches are there in normative approach, that is philosophical approach, historical, institutional, and legal approach. In next class we discuss these remaining approaches. Okay, thank you.